Today I want to talk a little bit about making the transition from your cool season garden into your warm season garden. Every year it seems like the point at which we feel like we need to start putting our seeds in the ground or planting our tomatoes and beans and peppers, we still have all of these beautiful collards and kale, cauliflower, broccoli, Swiss chard, all of our cool season crops, our lettuces, they're looking great. And what do? We don't want to rip them out of the ground just yet. I'll tell you what I do every season. I've got in my vegetable garden right now, 8 small little gardens. They're all about maybe 4 foot by 8 foot. And what I've done is I've still got every other one of them that's planted in my cool season crops. And I'm going to start with every other bed. I'm going to put the first plantings. I've got some full-grown little tomato plantlets here. So I'm going to start with some early tomatoes and a few early peppers just to get a jump on those. And in a couple of the other beds, I'm going to go ahead and seed in a few other crops. So I'm going to go ahead and seed in some squash. I'm going to seed in some carrots, a little pak choy, some eggplant. So they'll be coming on in the next wave of plants. So first I'll get a jump with some tomatoes and some peppers to get an early wave, and then my seeds will be coming on a little bit later, and then in 2 or 3 weeks I'm going to go ahead and pull out my collards and kale, Swiss chard after the heat starts to take their toll on them. And then I'm going to seed those beds in about 2 or 3 weeks from now. So what that ensures is that as we move into the summer months, I've got my very, very early tomatoes and peppers. So they'll be putting out a ton of fruit at that point in the year. Then right behind them, my seeded crops will start picking up where those left off. And then about a month after that, I'll have those later seeded crops that will start kicking in. So I'm able to get vegetables producing throughout the entirety of the summer. And then I'm going to do that kind of in reverse order as we move into the cool season crops. At the earliest point, as the weather starts to turn that I can, I'm going to plant, some cabbage, cauliflower, etc. plants into about half of the beds, and then later start seeding in some of those crops. So that way you get a full year in vegetables in your garden. You make the most of a limited space.